Breaking news! The Lagena brothers have just found something that made them shudder, and the once buzzing dig ended abruptly. What terrifying mystery have they concealed? The reality they discovered might never be accepted by the world. The History Channel's popular reality series, The Curse of Oak Island, has come under fire in recent weeks following the discovery of some centuries-old indigenous artifacts, which prompted local officials to shut down a large portion of the show's dig operation, causing several archaeologists to be sent packing. Fans are already speculating as to whether the Laginas and their crew will ever experience a return to normalcy, not to mention the future of Oak Island. During the final dig on the island, the Lagena brothers and their crew unearthed a bizarre find leading to the closure of Excavation. While the Lagena brothers and metal detector specialist Gary Drayton have mostly found mud, wood, and other metal implements on the 140 acres of the purportedly cursed Oak Island, they have also found a number of rare artifacts. But what precisely are these insane discoveries they managed during the final excavation in the whimsical realm of Oak Island? There is yet another challenge for the men on the Curse of Oak Island. In an effort to prevent them from digging on the island, the Canadian government intervened. Finding underground entrances to what they think is the riches was the objective, though. Regrettably, bureaucracy is getting in the way. The team discovered what could have been a hidden room next to the garden shaft. Doug engaged Dumas Contracting Limited to come in and work as excavators to dig them down and into these potential chambers. He did this by giving them a call. They think they have discovered pathways leading to a potential hidden treasure on the island. The crew was forced to wait since it would take 50 days to descend 75 feet as a result. They thought they may have just discovered a network of tunnels and chambers leading to the fabled hidden wealth. Additionally, they think one of the artifacts they discovered was of Viking provenance, which is much older than they had anticipated. But there is a new issue now. The hire of excavators, according to the Canadian government, indicates that the Lagena brothers require a mining warrant. Even though they are not officially mining, red tape has once again turned the authorities against the crew searching for wealth. Not all fans, though, appeared shocked. The Canadian government wants to stop a group of well-documented gold diggers from blindly rebuilding a wooden shaft that descends to an unknowable depth on an island where 6 treasure hunters have already perished doing the same thing. And they're the bad guys in this situation, a fan wrote on Reddit. The Canadian government has already meddled with the Lagena brothers' search for treasure on the Curse of Oak Island. They stopped conducting a significant portion of the island's excavation work in 2021. The Lagena brothers' crew discovered many hundred-year-old indigenous artifacts at this time. The crew found First Nation Mi'kmaq pottery fragments on the island during Season 9. Marty Lagena stated in an episode at the time that they would avoid using archaeological techniques as they awaited the outcome of the situation. The only change that came as a consequence was a tightening of the show's rules. The brothers switched from conventional archaeological approaches to unconventional digging tactics at that time. This season they improved on that by mapping out places beneath the island using modern technology, allowing them to locate hints and potential entrance routes without needlessly excavating. But the excavation led to a fresh dispute with the Canadian authorities. Will obstacles keep standing in the way of the Lagena brothers' search for the lost fortune on the Curse of Oak Island? Who knows? In the 6th season episode Voyage to the Bottom of the Cenote, things take a worrying turn as treasure seeker Marty Lagena makes the optimistic but hasty declaration, "Here we are in H8, we're going to keep looking. What may possibly fail?" When metal detecting specialist Gary Drayton discovers a possible top pocket discovery amid the loot, the squad has no notion of the fate that is about to befall them. Coming from the more optimistic of the 2 treasure-hunting Lagena brothers, these words have an especially ominous ring to them. In a recent episode, the action in the Money Pit area came to a similar sudden halt when someone found what could be a bone fragment. The more the Lagena brothers and their team excavate, the closer they reach the legendary treasure. It's been almost a decade since they worked on unearthing the truth, but unfortunately they never reached such a great height until now. This season left them, and their fans shocked when they brought such discoveries to the audience's platter. However, things will take to the next level in The Curse of Oak Island Season 10, Episode 25, when the new discoveries connect all the pieces together. So, are they close to locating the treasure? Well, fans are curious to learn this. And the hits keep coming. The next episode will solve another enigma. On Lot 5, Laird Niven resumes his excavation work. The crew will search for the secret buried beneath the triangle-shaped marsh as they move on. The team will continue digging, but they will soon get startling information that links Lot 5 to the triangle-shaped marsh. When the crew keeps digging in Money Pit, they'll also discover a remarkable discovery. They are now more prepared than ever to solve the puzzle. Marty, Craig, and Charles have been getting ready to down the 82-foot shaft for the past week. The crew didn't think there could be a tunnel underneath the shaft's terminus, since one of the sides kept sinking. They chose to independently verify it despite this theory. Charles made the decision to go first and offer his services to everybody, but he had to go through specialized training first in order to achieve this. He descended and observed the garden shaft's dropping corner. After what he had seen, the group decided to dig at the bottom to see if there were any potential tunnels nearby. Marty, though, placed a hold on it. He intended to perform a self-check but needed more time to complete his dedicated training. Meanwhile, Alex, Rick, and Peter traveled to Italy to consult Umberto Musa, a specialist in coins and artifacts from antiquity. He examined the coins and found Oak Island had some ties to the Roman Empire as well. This happened as a result of one of the coins being a Roman coin. Byzantine gold coins were weighed against another coin to determine whether or not they were genuine. Laird Niven's continuing drilling on Lot 5 resulted in their most recent finding. In the meantime, Rick kept searching for answers in the area known as Nolan's Cross, but for the time being, the group keeps looking into the enigmatic circular depression in the marsh. They discover ceramic shards and charcoal fragments that they surmise may be remnants of a cooking pot or a campfire. The lead artifact that was discovered in the swamp is examined by experts. The potential to be considered original work. You will see that this so-called mainstay is actually rather puzzling when compared to the hard work that went into creating the Great Quadrilateral. What, if any, contributions does this facet make to the larger mystery? As of yet, nothing has been decided on that. Carmen Legg, a specialist in blacksmithing, meets with Rick and Marty Lagina, Craig Tester, and archaeometallurgist Emma Culligan at the Oak Island Interpretive Center to study the massive metal staple that was discovered the previous day. Its starting point is a fantastic quadrilateral. Even though it was a strange geometric figure, they had no notion what the specific feature represented. They have found no others of its kind on the island before. There are now countless conjectures regarding the type of wealth that might be hidden on the island, as well as how it got there. However, the William Phipps theory has won over a lot of supporters and is supported by a lot of data. The theory was refuted by writer and history enthusiast Hammerson Peters in a recent video that was posted to his YouTube channel. The majority of the information presented in the movie is taken from the book Oak Island and Its Lost Treasure, which first made the strong case for the conspiracy. The Peters have proposed the following idea, which can be summed up as follows. During the 17th century, William Phipps was a skilled explorer, and the English supported him financially. The Protestant majority, including the political elite and aristocracy, developed a strong dislike for the Catholic king when King James II came to power in 1685. James II adhered to Catholicism, or to put it another way, they planned to depose him. The following stories are word-of-mouth legends from the late 18th century because there is so little information about the early treasure-related operations that occurred on Oak Island that has been objectively verified. It took many years after the incident before publishers began to pay attention to this kind of activity and look into the stories involved. The tale of a treasure found by a settler named Daniel McGinnis was published for the first time in 1857. This is the story's earliest known telling. After that, it was another 5 years before one of the purported original diggers gave a testimony regarding the initial narrative and subsequent Onslow and Truro Company deeds. The earliest settlers in the region heard tales of a dying crew member of Captain Kidd's ship. The man said that Captain Kidd had hidden £2 million worth of treasure on the island. Captain Kidd passed away in 1701. According to the most widely recognized version of the story, Daniel McGinnis came across a dip in the ground in 1799 while looking for a place to build a farm. McGinnis asked for help from other people in order to dig because he believed that the depression fit with the legend surrounding Captain Kidd. With the aid of two people only known by the names John Smith and Anthony Vaughan, he dug out the pit and found a layer of flagstones 2 feet, 61 centimeters below the surface. The earliest documents, however, merely mention marks of some sort at these intervals. Later accounts report finding oak platforms every 10 feet, 3 meters, although previous accounts only make reference to marks. The various legends also mention the tool marks or pick scratches on the hole's walls. The soil was not as well packed as the soil around it, and it was visibly loose. The 3 men reportedly stopped their digging at a depth of 9.1 meters, 30 feet, because of superstitious dread. In an alternative interpretation of the story, all 4 of the main characters are portrayed as teenagers. According to this account, McGinnis first learns of the slump in 1795 while on a fishing excursion. The rest of the story proceeds in the same manner as the first, with the logs discovered as its focal point, but it ends with the 4 people giving up after they have gone as far as they can. For more current discovery stuff, remember to subscribe. They continued to excavate until they reached a depth of around 90 feet, 27 meters, where they discovered layers of logs, or marks, spaced about 10 feet, 3 meters apart. They also discovered a large stone with symbols engraved onto it, as well as layers of charcoal, putty, and coconut fiber. When the hole unexpectedly filled with water to a depth of 60 feet, 18 meters, the situation for the diggers grew challenging. The alleged dig was finally given up on after repeated fruitless attempts by workers to retrieve the riches from below by excavating a tunnel starting at a second shaft that was equally flooded. The most prosperous company of the pre-publication era is thought to have been the Truro Company, which is said to have been founded in 1849 by a group of investors. Re-excavation of the hole was placed all the way down to a level that was 26 meters, 86 feet below the surface. But it eventually overflowed once more. After that, it was decided to drill 5 bore holes into the machine's original shaft using a pod auger. Recently, scientists made what appears to be a weird discovery in space. Could this be an alien species? To learn more, click the next post.
The Oak Island team steps back so that the Dumas Contracting Company team can start drilling in this episode. The business is ready to start the job and has everything it needs. Is it possible that new things will be found? How did the team get past problems to reach their goal? The most important question is, where is the wealth that was buried? Stay tuned as we keep looking for the treasure that has been hidden for a long time. Early in the morning, the drilling company starts by planning how to dig the yard shaft all the way down. For about 6 hours, the flooded water has to be drained out of the garden shaft. Then, debris and artifacts have to be pulled out, wood sets have to be added, and the tube underground has to be made clear enough to be explored. The first step in the process seems to be putting together a very strong and useful tool called the hammer grab, which weighs more than 3 tons and is used for digging. After the dig, the team plans to build new 8-foot-tall wooden levels to try to link to the confirmed but still unexplored tunnel. Different artifacts found by the Oak Island team during their past drilling have proven that the tunnel is there. Some of the water that was pumped out has been seen and studied so far and found to contain gold and other things. But there is one thing that stands out from what they saw. The water that was covered in gold didn't seem to come from the garden shaft. Instead, it seemed to come from the baby blob, which is west of the garden shaft. It was found that the baby blob had the most metal and other artifacts compared to other parts of the money pit, through past study and excavation efforts. The team has a lot of hopes for both during and after the addition of the shaft area. A lot of people are positive, excited about the discoveries that will be made, and interested in where they came from. The team was able to figure out the right way for their excavation work by looking at maps and past observations of the land. The garden shaft was the best place to begin the addition at any height and on a flat surface. With this going on, an area of up to 80 feet can be dug up, explored, and watched. This is a large underground area that should yield many artifacts during the process. One thing is certain about this whole operation: good things will happen, even though the team will face some problems along the way. Another good thing is that some problems are easy to solve with the help of the team's partners at Dumas Contracting Limited. The drilling company is helpful when there is no way to get to places with a lot of metal materials. They can also help with additions if needed. If we're lucky, no prize will be forgotten and the chances of finding the lost treasure are higher than ever. The Dumas team starts the job on a good note, ready to find out more. A few hours into the workday, some team members met in the war room as normal. But this time, It was to have a meeting with someone from Ideon Technologies. The purpose of the meeting was to go over the scientific reports of the money pit. A lot of the Oak Island team seems worried about what the reports might say. The study was mostly useful, and the Ideon Technology team worked hard to make sure it was correct. In the money pit area, the tech team put about 14 monitors into 5 boreholes. It's very, very deep, but most of the sensors were only 80 to 250 feet below the ground. This is very, very close to the tube. It wasn't just recently that the investigation was done. It happened as early as 2021, and it took almost 2 years to do all the necessary studies. This means that the report's conclusions are not based on quick observations, but on thorough study and testing. Based on the story, it looks like the sensors could pick up muons even when they were buried several feet deep. The representative said there were specific things to look for, like suits, voids, tubes that cross at the money pit, and strange things happening underground. The reports were shown clearly, showing how full the money pit was. The 3D picture shows that the areas with moderate density are yellow, the areas with low density are blue dots, and the areas with high density are orange and red. Based on how you look at it, places with a high density are more likely to have treasures, while areas with a low density are more likely to have tunnels.
And conspiracy theorists. With each new discovery made by the devoted exploration crew, the allure of the island has grown. Experts were astounded to discover a paved area in the wetland, a peculiar anomaly. In addition, they discovered a 500-year-old stone road, shedding light on the island's ancient history and heightening the mystery encircling its secrets. A mid-15th century rock drill was discovered in the B4C shaft, which was possibly the most astonishing discovery. This artifact has prompted speculation about the island's hidden history and valuable treasures. As Oak Island continues to disclose its secrets, the world eagerly anticipates additional discoveries and the chance to decipher its ancient mysteries. The Lagena brothers and their devoted team embarked on an extraordinary voyage to uncover Oak Island's long-held secrets. Their efforts and breakthroughs brought them closer to the legendary treasure, increasing their confidence that it was within reach. One discovery in particular stood out among their recent discoveries. As they meticulously scrutinized the rock drill discovered in the B4C shaft, a profound realization occurred. This ostensibly unremarkable artifact had the potential to be crucial evidence, leading them directly to the concealed treasure chamber buried beneath the ground. The crew made a remarkable discovery that sparked intense speculation. Through a network of tunnels, they believed they were near to discovering the elusive money pit, or a hidden treasure chamber. Even though they were in the final phase of excavation, the crew remained determined to reach their goal. When they discovered a 90-foot deep tunnel, they believed it was a sign that they were approaching the original money pit. Unfazed by the difficulty of the voyage thus far, they proceeded with the unshakable conviction that they were getting closer to uncovering the mysteries of the money pit. Armed with newly acquired knowledge and an insatiable desire for answers, the Lagena brothers and their companions prepared to delve even deeper, prepared to confront the mysteries that awaited them. Each step drew them closer to uncovering the centuries-old secrets that had been concealed. Their determination was fueled by their unwavering pursuit of the treasure, which had captivated the minds of innumerable explorers before them. The group developed a novel strategy based on their previous findings. They decided to concentrate their efforts on investigating the mysterious stone-paved area in the swamp because they believed it would provide important clues as to the location of the treasure. Using advanced ground-penetrating radar technology, they scanned the surface of the swamp, revealing anomalies that may indicate the presence of concealed chambers or tunnels. The ground-penetrating radar surveys uncovered a remarkable discovery, a network of interconnected tunnels beneath the swamp. The crew realized that these tunnels may hold the key to unlocking Oak Island's final secrets. The crew was filled with anticipation as they prepared to investigate these underground passages, knowing that they were on the verge of a significant discovery. With their specialized equipment and protective gear, the crew entered the recently unearthed tunnels with courage. The ambiance inside was damp and unsettling, which amplified their feelings of excitement and danger. As they progressed deeper into the complex labyrinth, they discovered shards of tools, signs of human habitation, and cryptic symbols etched into the tunnel walls. Each step brought them closer to the long-awaited revelation. After years of arduous searching, the team uncovered a secret chamber concealed deep within the tunnels. As they cautiously opened the chamber door, they were dumbfounded by what they saw. They stood there in awe as they encountered the ultimate prize they had tirelessly sought. The treasure that had evaded them for what seemed like an eternity suddenly materialized before their eyes. It was an awe-inspiring sight, a collection of dazzling jewels, each glistening in its own brilliant hue. Alongside them were artifacts that told tales of long-vanished civilizations. The containers were brimming with unfathomable riches, including gold and silver that glistened with unrivaled opulence. After years of effort, the Oak Island curse was ultimately resolved. Their perseverance and diligence paid off as they uncovered secrets that had been concealed for centuries. In that moment of triumph, they felt a mixture of pleasure and relief, knowing that their perseverance had led to the discovery of a lifetime. Click the subscribe button if the video has piqued your interest thus far. The discovery of the treasure on Oak Island was not only a triumph for the Lagina brothers and their team, but also a demonstration of human tenacity and the enduring appeal of adventure.